forced to follow orders. Would you rather defy your masters and live by the creed of pirates?
So you've got the itch to dive into some epic open-world adventures, but your PC isn't exactly what you'd call cutting edge. More like cutting it close, right? Don't worry, you're in good company. We've all been there, staring at those beautiful screenshots of sprawling landscapes and thinking, yeah, but can my potato run it? Well, today's your lucky day. We've rounded up the top 48 open-world games for low-end PCs that'll make your rig feel like it's got the horsepower of a thoroughbred. Whether you're into battling dragons, racing through city streets, or just exploring vast worlds without a care, there's something here to tickle your fancy. And more importantly, your PC can handle it without bursting into flames. So grab your snacks, maybe a cooling pad, just in case, and let's get into these awesome games that won't leave your system crying for mercy. Crysis series. Remember when the big question was, can it run Crysis? Well, now it's more like, can my low-end PC handle the awesome might of a nano-suit-wearing super soldier? Spoiler, it totally can. The Crysis series is a sci-fi first-person shooter that lets you wreak havoc while looking like the coolest tech-enhanced soldier in the room. You'll be battling everything from North Korean soldiers to aliens in locations ranging from tropical islands to the concrete jungle of New York City. Each game in the series hands you a nano-suit with abilities like armor, stealth, and super strength. It's like playing a superhero, but with way more tactical shooting and way fewer capes. The open-ended levels encourage you to think on your feet. Do you go full Rambo or play it sneaky like a ninja? The choice is yours. Once upon a time, Crysis was the PC destroyer, but now it's more like the cool uncle who's mellowed out and just wants to hang with everyone. With the right tweaks, even your humble rig can handle this beauty. Sure, you might have to say goodbye to ultra settings, but you'll still get to enjoy the series' groundbreaking gameplay without turning your PC into a very expensive paperweight. It's a bit like being handed the keys to a Ferrari and realizing it comes with a go slow and steady mode. You get all the fun, just at a slightly reduced frame rate. Far Cry 3. Ever feel like your vacation couldn't get worse? Well, in Far Cry 3, it definitely does. You're Jason Brody, a regular guy who goes from sipping piña coladas on the beach to taking on a maniacal pirate lord in the middle of a tropical nightmare. Welcome to the Rook Islands, where the wildlife wants to eat you, the locals are either trying to kill you or get you to do their dirty work, and your best friend is a Kalashnikov. The game's open world is a paradise for chaos lovers. Whether you're liberating outposts, hunting wild animals, watch out for those pesky Komodo dragons, or just setting the world on fire. Literally, Far Cry 3 gives you all the tools you need to create your own action movie. And let's not forget Vas Montenegro, the bad guy who redefines what it means to be insane. He's the kind of guy who'd ask, you know the definition of insanity? While setting you on fire for the third time. Far Cry 3 is like that perfect beach resort that doesn't charge you a fortune. Even on a low-end PC, the game runs smoothly and looks good doing it. The settings can be adjusted to keep things running well so you can focus on blowing stuff up rather than worrying about frame drops. It's an all-inclusive package of fun, danger, and a whole lot of mayhem. Perfect for your less-than-cutting-edge gaming setup.
Send them to hell!
Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Avast ye landlubbers. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag lets you live out your pirate fantasies with a side of assassin skullduggery. You're Edward Kenway, a man with a penchant for plundering, sword fighting, and the occasional parkour stunt off the top of a mast. The Caribbean is your playground, filled with tropical islands, naval battles, and enough buried treasure to make a pirate blush. The game perfectly mixes the classic Assassin's Creed gameplay with a hearty dose of pirating. You'll be swinging from ropes, boarding enemy ships, and singing sea shanties like a true swashbuckler. When you're not plundering on the high seas, you're back on land, sneaking through towns and jungles, climbing anything with a foothold, and stabbing your way to infamy. Worried your PC might sink under the weight of this epic adventure? Fear not. Black Flag is like a well-trimmed ship, optimized to sail smoothly on even modest rigs. You might not get every drop of water in the Caribbean looking crystal clear, but you'll still get to enjoy the thrill of naval battles, treasure hunting, and the freedom to sail wherever the wind takes you. It's like being handed a pirate's treasure map, but this one leads you to a game that won't overload your system. Sleeping Dogs. Ever wanted to feel like you're in the middle of a Hong Kong action flick? Well, Sleeping Dogs is here to make that dream come true, minus the risk of actually getting kicked in the face. You're Wei Shin, an undercover cop with a dark past and a knack for martial arts. Your mission? Infiltrate the triads, take them down from the inside, and maybe break a few bones along the way. The game's combat system is like a love letter to martial arts films. Fluid, intense, and incredibly satisfying. You can string together combos, use the environment to your advantage, and even engage in some epic slow-motion takedowns. When you're not throwing punches, you're exploring the vibrant streets of Hong Kong, racing through alleyways, and getting into high-speed chases that would make even Jackie Chan proud. Sleeping Dogs is that rare gem, a game that looks great, plays smoothly, and doesn't demand a beastly PC to run. With some adjustments, you can keep the action smooth and the visuals crisp, making it the perfect game for those who want to experience a slice of Hong Kong cinema without turning their PC into an expensive brick. It's like getting a front row seat to the best action flick ever, with you as the star.
Burn with the rest of them. Boss, get out of there!
Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain puts you in the boots of Big Boss, a legendary soldier with a serious grudge and a private army at his disposal. The game is set in massive open-world environments across Afghanistan and Africa, where you'll engage in tactical espionage operations that range from sneaking past guards to full-blown assaults on enemy bases. It's like a military sandbox where you're given all the toys and told go nuts. The game is known for its freedom of approach. Want to go in guns blazing? Sure, but you'll probably alert every guard within a mile. Prefer sneaking around in a cardboard box? Why not? This is Metal Gear after all. The story is pure Kojima, filled with twists, bizarre characters, and enough philosophy to make your head spin. And let's not forget the mother base, where you can manage your own private army, capture animals, and even build a nuclear weapon. But, you know, maybe don't. You'd think a game this expansive would bring a low-end PC to its knees, but the Phantom Pain is surprisingly forgiving. With a few tweaks, you can keep the action smooth and the visuals decent, letting you focus on outsmarting enemy soldiers rather than outsmarting your PC's cooling system. It's like getting to play with a top-tier tactical toolkit without needing a top-tier machine. Sneak, shoot, and strategize to your heart's content. Your rig can handle it. GTA 3. Let's take a trip down memory lane to the game that started it all. Grand Theft Auto 3. Set in Liberty City, a grimy urban jungle where crime is as common as hot dog stands, you play as Claude, a man of few words and many crimes. After being double-crossed and left for dead, Claude embarks on a journey of revenge and power, rising through the ranks of the criminal underworld. The gameplay is classic GTA. You're free to steal cars, cause mayhem, and complete missions for various shady characters around the city. Whether you're pulling off heists, taking out rival gang members, or just seeing how long you can evade the cops, GTA 3 offers a sandbox of endless possibilities. The city is packed with secrets, side activities, and enough chaos to keep you entertained for hours on end. GTA 3 may be a relic of the early 2000s, but it's still a blast to play, and your low-end PC will love it. The game's modest system requirements mean you can dive into the gritty streets of Liberty City without worrying about your computer overheating. Sure, the graphics are a bit dated, but the gameplay is timeless. It's like playing a piece of gaming history that still holds up, even if you're running on a rig that's closer to a flip phone than a gaming PC. Tomb Raider, 2013. The 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider reimagines Lara Croft's origin story, transforming her from a wide-eyed archaeologist into a hardened survivor. After a shipwreck leaves her stranded on a mysterious island, Lara must use every ounce of her wit and willpower to survive against hostile forces and uncover the island's dark secrets. It's a gritty, intense journey that puts Lara through the ringer, but she emerges stronger, and so do you. The gameplay is a mix of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat. The island is a dangerous playground filled with enemies, environmental hazards, and ancient tombs to raid. The combat is visceral and satisfying, with a focus on using bows, guns, and makeshift weapons to take down foes. The puzzles add a nice change of pace, requiring you to think critically about how to navigate the island's treacherous terrain. Lara Croft might be scaling cliffs and dodging bullets, but your low-end PC won't break a sweat. The game's engine is designed to run well on a variety of hardware, so you can enjoy the beautiful, deadly island without sacrificing performance. It's like having a front-row seat to Lara's epic journey, complete with all the thrills and chills, just without the need for a supercomputer. Whether you're exploring ancient tombs or fighting for survival, Tomb Raider delivers an unforgettable experience that's as accessible as it is exciting.
Get away, foul vision of hell!
Sheesh. It's all downhill from here, my friend. That's you!
Bully, Scholarship Edition. Welcome to Bulworth Academy, the prestigious institution where the teachers are corrupt, the students are violent, and you're the new kid on the block. In Bully Scholarship Edition, you play as Jimmy Hopkins, a rebellious teenager with a chip on his shoulder and a penchant for causing trouble. Your mission? Climb the social ladder of Bulworth, take down bullies, and maybe pull a few pranks along the way. The gameplay is a mix of exploration, combat, and minigames, all set within the confines of the school and its surrounding town. You'll attend classes, which are actually fun minigames, complete missions for various cliques, and engage in all sorts of shenanigans. Whether you're egging a teacher's car or defending a nerd from a wedgie, Bully captures the chaotic spirit of high school in a way that's both hilarious and surprisingly heartfelt. Bully might be set in a school, but your low-end PC won't need a tutor to handle it. The game's engine is lightweight, allowing it to run smoothly on older systems without sacrificing the charm that makes it so special. It's like reliving your high school days, but with way more fun and way less homework. So whether you're causing chaos in the cafeteria or sneaking out after curfew, Bully is the perfect playground for anyone looking to stir up some trouble on a budget.
Time moves forward, and nothing changes.
Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3 drops you into the gritty, bullet-riddled world of Sao Paulo, Brazil, where former NYPD cop Max Payne is now working as a private security contractor. With his trademark trench coat swapped for a more tropical wardrobe, Max is older, more cynical, and still haunted by his tragic past. But one thing hasn't changed: his knack for diving in slow motion while unloading a clip into bad guys. The gameplay is all about stylish cinematic shootouts, with the iconic bullet time mechanic letting you slow down the action and pull off those impossible John Woo-style moves. The story is dark and intense, filled with betrayal, revenge, and more twists than a telenovela. The levels are meticulously designed, from luxurious penthouses to gritty favelas, each one offering new challenges and opportunities to flex your trigger finger. Max Payne 3 might look like it's packing heat in the graphics department, but it's got a soft spot for low-end PCs. With a bit of tweaking, you can keep the action smooth and the visuals sharp, even if your system's not the latest and greatest. It's like having your own private action movie, complete with all the slow-motion gunplay you could ask for. No need to break the bank on a high-end rig, so grab your virtual shades, dive into the chaos, and remember, painkillers are your best friend. Dying Light. Dying Light is what you get when you mix parkour, zombies, and a healthy dose of survival horror into one adrenaline-pumping game. You play as Kyle Crane, an undercover agent sent to the quarantined city of Heron, where the undead roam the streets, and survival is a daily struggle. The game's standout feature is its parkour system, letting you leap across rooftops, climb walls, and escape from the undead hordes in style. By day, you gather supplies, craft weapons, and take on missions to help the city's survivors. But when night falls, the real terror begins. as more powerful zombies emerge, turning the game into a desperate race to stay alive. The combat is visceral, with a focus on melee weapons and using the environment to your advantage. The story might not win any Oscars, but it provides enough motivation to keep you pushing forward through the zombie-infested city. If you think Dying Light would be too much for your PC to handle, think again. The game's engine is optimized to deliver a smooth experience even on lower-end systems, so you can focus on not getting your face eaten off rather than worrying about frame drops. It's like being in your own zombie apocalypse movie, complete with all the thrills and chills, but without the need for a supercharged gaming rig. So strap on those running shoes, sharpen your machete, and get ready to run for your virtual life. Burnout Paradise. In Burnout Paradise, the rules of the road are simple. Drive fast, crash hard, and leave a trail of twisted metal in your wake. Set in the sprawling open world of Paradise City, this game lets you live out your wildest racing fantasies, where the only thing better than speeding through the streets is smashing your rivals into oblivion. The game offers a variety of events, from high-speed races to road rage challenges where the goal is to take down as many opponents as possible. Paradise City is your playground, with no loading screens or boundaries holding you back, just miles of road, countless jumps, and plenty of opportunities to cause spectacular crashes. The controls are tight and responsive, making every drift, jump, and takedown feel exhilarating. You might think Burnout Paradise would demand a lot from your PC, but it's surprisingly forgiving. The game's engine is well optimized, meaning you can keep the action fast and furious without your PC going up in smoke. It's like driving a sports car that's been finely tuned to handle any road. Smooth, thrilling, and incredibly fun, even on a budget setup. Whether you're a speed demon or just love the sound of metal crunching, Burnout Paradise is the ultimate playground for your inner road warrior. Subnautica. Ever wonder what it's like to be stranded on an alien ocean planet with nothing but your wits and a high-tech diving suit? Subnautica throws you into the deep end. Literally. After crash landing on an aquatic world, you must explore the ocean's depths, gather resources, and build your underwater base while avoiding the planet's less-than-friendly inhabitants. The game's world is a stunningly beautiful, yet terrifying underwater expanse filled with vibrant coral reefs, dark abyssal zones, and ancient alien structures. As you dive deeper, you'll uncover the planet's mysteries and maybe even figure out how to escape. The game's crafting and survival mechanics are deep and engaging, making every dive feel like a new adventure. Just watch out for the giant sea monsters lurking in the depths. They're not exactly friendly. Subnautica might look like it requires a top-of-the-line PC to run, but it's surprisingly accessible. The game's engine is optimized to deliver a smooth experience even on lower-end hardware, so you can explore the ocean's depths without worrying about your rig drowning. It's like being handed the keys to a submarine and told, "Go explore. Just don't get eaten." So grab your wetsuit, dive in, and get ready for an underwater adventure that's as thrilling as it is beautiful, even on a modest setup. Just Cause 2. Just Cause 2 is the video game equivalent of an action movie on steroids. You're Rico Rodriguez, a one-man army sent to the fictional Southeast Asian island of Panau to overthrow a corrupt government. But forget about subtlety. This game is all about causing as much chaos as possible, using your trusty grappling hook, parachute, and an arsenal of weapons. The gameplay is pure, unfiltered mayhem. You can hijack helicopters, attach enemies to propane tanks and watch them take off, or simply blow everything up just because you can. The island of Panau is massive, with diverse environments ranging from tropical beaches to snow-capped mountains, all ripe for exploration and destruction. The missions are varied, but the real fun lies in the freedom to create your own action-packed moments. You might think a game this big and explosive would be too much for a low-end PC, but Just Cause 2 is more than happy to dial things down a notch. The game's engine is optimized to ensure smooth gameplay, even if you're not running the latest hardware. It's like being handed the script to the craziest action movie ever made and told, Go nuts. Whether you're toppling statues, skydiving from jets, or just wreaking havoc for the fun of it, Just Cause 2 lets you live out your wildest action hero fantasies without needing a high-end rig. Rice, Son of Rome. Rice, Son of Rome is your ticket to the blood-soaked battlefields of the Roman Empire, where you play as Marius Titus, a soldier with a serious vendetta. The game is a visual spectacle, with incredibly detailed environments that bring ancient Rome to life. But don't let the pretty scenery fool you. This game is all about brutal, up-close combat. The gameplay is centered around melee combat, with a focus on timing and execution. You'll be hacking and slashing your way through waves of enemies, chaining together attacks and finishing moves that are as brutal as they are satisfying. The story is linear but engaging, following Marius as he rises through the ranks of the Roman army and seeks revenge on those who wronged him. It's a cinematic experience that's heavy on action and drama, perfect for anyone who enjoys a good sword fight. While Rice, Son of Rome was originally a showcase for high-end graphics, it's surprisingly willing to step off its pedestal and run on more modest hardware. With some tweaks, you can keep the action smooth and the visuals decent, letting you focus on slicing through enemies rather than slicing through your PC's performance. So get ready to dive into the epic world of ancient Rome, complete with all the glory, guts, and gladiatorial combat your low-end rig can handle.
We'll remind the Longers where they belong. I have to kill you.
The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings. The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings puts you in the well-worn boots of Geralt of Rivia, the grizzled monster hunter with a knack for getting tangled up in political intrigue and the occasional magical mishap. Set in a richly detailed fantasy world, the game is a mix of intense combat, deep storytelling, and a world so full of moral gray areas you'll need a map to navigate them all. The gameplay is challenging and tactical, requiring you to think on your feet as you dodge, parry, and unleash magical signs to defeat your foes. The story is complex and branching, with your choices affecting the outcome in meaningful ways. Whether you're slaying monsters, seducing sorceresses, or playing detective in a medieval whodunit, The Witcher 2 keeps you hooked from start to finish. Don't let the rich graphics and complex world of The Witcher 2 scare you off. This game knows how to behave on lower-end systems. With a bit of fine-tuning, you can keep the game running smoothly without sacrificing the rich experience that makes it so beloved. It's like being invited to a royal banquet where you can enjoy all the delicious storytelling and gameplay without worrying about your PC's appetite. So grab your silver sword, brew some potions, and get ready to dive into a world where every choice matters, even on a budget rig.
I love you and Chloe very much. I'll be home soon.
Medal of Honor 2010. Medal of Honor 2010 reboots the classic shooter series with a modern twist, setting the action in the war-torn landscapes of Afghanistan. You play as a Tier 1 operator, part of an elite group of soldiers tasked with carrying out covert missions behind enemy lines. The game's single-player campaign offers a gritty, realistic portrayal of modern warfare, focusing on the intense, close-quarters combat that the series is known for. The gameplay is a mix of tactical shooting and stealth, with missions that range from high-octane firefights to tense, stealthy infiltrations. The weapons are meticulously detailed, and the controls are tight, making every shot feel satisfying. The story, while not the deepest, is engaging enough to keep you pushing through the campaign. The multiplayer mode adds extra value, offering a variety of maps and modes that cater to both casual and competitive players. You might think a game about modern warfare would require modern hardware, but Medal of Honor is more than willing to drop and give you 20 FPS, that is, even on lower-end systems. The game's engine is optimized to deliver a solid experience without demanding too much from your rig. It's like having your own private boot camp, complete with all the thrills of tactical combat, but without the need for a top-tier PC. So lock and load, soldier. Medal of Honor is ready to deploy, even if your system isn't exactly combat ready. XMen Origins. Wolverine. XMen Origins. Wolverine isn't just a movie tie-in. It's a full-blown, blood-soaked hack-and-slash action game that lets you take control of everyone's favorite clawed mutant. The game loosely follows the plot of the 2009 movie, but amps up the action with brutal, over-the-top combat that feels true to Wolverine's feral nature. The gameplay is all about unleashing Wolverine's rage, with a mix of fast-paced melee combat, platforming, and puzzle solving. You'll rip through enemies with your adamantium claws, heal wounds in real time, and unleash devastating special moves that make you feel like the unstoppable force of nature that Wolverine is meant to be. The environments are varied, from military bases to dense jungles, each offering new challenges and plenty of bad guys to tear apart. XMen Origins. Wolverine might be known for its gory combat and flashy moves, but it's not too proud to run on a more humble PC. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth, satisfying action, even if your rig isn't cutting edge. It's like being handed the claws of a mutant superhero and told, "Go wild." Your PC can handle it, so sharpen those claws, tap into your inner beast, and get ready to shred through enemies without breaking a sweat.
Bravo!
Or your system, Arkham City. Batman. Arkham City takes the Dark Knight out of the asylum and drops him into the sprawling, open-air prison that is Arkham City. As Batman, you'll glide through the city's grimy streets, take down Gotham's most dangerous criminals, and solve puzzles that would make even the Riddler proud. The game is a perfect blend of stealth, combat, and exploration, wrapped up in a story that's as dark and twisted as the Joker's sense of humor. The combat system is one of the game's crown jewels, allowing you to chain together attacks, counters, and gadgets in a way that makes you feel like the ultimate crime-fighting machine. The city itself is packed with side missions, challenges, and collectibles, ensuring there's always something to do, whether you're tracking down a killer or just enjoying the view from atop a gargoyle. You'd think Arkham City would require a bat computer, but it's surprisingly accommodating to lower-end PCs. With the right settings, you can keep the action smooth and the graphics sharp, allowing you to enjoy everything the game has to offer without worrying about performance issues. It's like being handed the cowl and cape and told, "You're Batman," even if your PC isn't exactly Bruce Wayne level. So get ready to glide, grapple, and ground pound your way through Arkham City. Your rig can handle it.
You think your threats frighten me?
Answer the question! This is your chance. Don't fail me.
LA Noire. LA Noire transports you to the gritty post-war streets of 1940s Los Angeles, where you play as Cole Phelps, a straight-laced LAPD detective with a nose for crime and a knack for solving cases. The game is a mix of open-world exploration, detailed investigations, and tense interrogations, all wrapped up in a narrative inspired by classic film noir. The gameplay focuses on solving crimes, which means searching for clues, interrogating suspects, and piecing together evidence to crack the case. The game's facial animation technology was groundbreaking at the time, allowing you to read characters' expressions and body language to determine if they're telling the truth or hiding something. The action sequences, including car chases and shootouts, add variety, but the real star of the show is the detective work. LA Noire might be known for its impressive visuals and detailed world, but it's surprisingly willing to let lower-end PCs join the investigation. The game's engine is optimized to run smoothly on a variety of systems, so you can focus on cracking cases rather than cracking your PC's cooling system. It's like being handed a fedora and a badge and told, "Solve the mystery." Your rig can handle the heat. So grab your notepad, hit the streets, and get ready to dive into a world of crime, corruption, and classic detective work, all without stressing your system.
Gonna shoot you right down, right off of your feet.
Mafia II. Mafia II invites you to step into the shoes of Vito Scaletta, a young man who returns from World War II to find himself caught up in the criminal underworld of Empire Bay. The game is a mix of open-world exploration, cinematic storytelling, and third-person shooting, all set against the backdrop of the 1940s and 50s, a time of classic cars, sharp suits, and shady deals. The gameplay is a mix of missions that range from bank heists to high-speed chases, all tied together by a story that's as gripping as any gangster movie. The world of Empire Bay is richly detailed, with period-accurate cars, music, and fashion that help immerse you in the era. The combat is tight and satisfying, with a variety of weapons and cover-based mechanics that keep the action engaging. But it's the story that truly shines, offering a deep, emotional journey through the rise and fall of a gangster. Mafia II might be set in the glitz and glamour of the 1940s and 50s, but it's more than willing to accommodate your less than glamorous PC. The game's engine is designed to run smoothly on a variety of systems, so you can experience the thrill of the mob life without worrying about performance issues. So don your best suit, grab your Tommy gun, and get ready to live the life of a made man, even if your PC isn't exactly top of the line. Hitman Absolution. Hitman Absolution puts you back in the shoes of Agent 47, the world's deadliest assassin, as he embarks on a mission that's more personal than ever. The game is a mix of stealth, strategy, and precise execution, where every level is a puzzle waiting to be solved with a well-placed bullet, a clever disguise, or a bit of environmental trickery. The gameplay is all about choice. You can go in guns blazing or take the stealthy route, using disguises and distractions to outsmart your enemies. Each level is a sandbox of possibilities, with multiple ways to complete your objectives. The story is darker and more personal, diving into 47's past and his connection to a young girl he's sworn to protect. It's a game that rewards creativity and patience, making every successful hit feel incredibly satisfying. You might think Hitman Absolution would require a super sleek PC to run, but it's more than happy to accommodate your more humble setup. The game's engine is designed to perform well on a range of systems, so you can focus on planning the perfect hit without worrying about your PC overheating. It's like being handed a sniper rifle and told, "Take the shot, your rig can handle it." So grab your favorite disguise, plan your approach, and get ready to become the world's greatest assassin, even if your PC is more undercover than underpowered. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim is the game that made us all want to shout at dragons in a made-up language. Set in the frozen land of Skyrim, you play as the Dragonborn, a hero with the power to absorb dragon souls and, save the world from an ancient evil. The game's world is vast, open, and filled with more quests, dungeons, and dragons than you can shake a stick at, or a sword, or a spell, or whatever else you're wielding. The gameplay is a mix of exploration, combat, and character development. You can create a character that suits your playstyle, whether you're a stealthy archer, a powerful mage, or a sword-swinging warrior. The game's world is packed with lore, making every new discovery feel like you're peeling back another layer of this rich, immersive universe. The main story is epic, but it's the side quests and random encounters that truly make Skyrim shine. You might think a game as expansive as Skyrim would be too much for your PC to handle, but this game is surprisingly flexible. With the right tweaks, even a low-end PC can run Skyrim like a charm. It's like being handed a magical scroll that says, "Explore to your heart's content. Your rig's got this." So grab your sword, ready your shout, and get ready to lose yourself in one of the most immersive RPGs ever made, all without needing a high-end system to enjoy it.
I was talking to the robot.
Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 is what happens when you take an open-world crime game, add superpowers, aliens, and a healthy dose of insanity, and mix it all together. You play as the President of the United States, who also happens to be a former gang leader, trying to save the world from an alien invasion. The game's open world is your playground, where you can run at super speed, leap over buildings, and unleash a variety of powers to wreak havoc on your enemies. The gameplay is a wild mix of superpowered combat, exploration, and mission-based activities. You can customize your character, weapons, and vehicles to fit your playstyle, whether you prefer to crush your enemies with brute force or outmaneuver them with your powers. The story is as crazy as the gameplay, filled with humor, pop culture references, and over-the-top action that keeps things entertaining from start to finish. You might think Saints Row 4 would require a supercomputer to handle all its insanity, but it's surprisingly accommodating to lower-end PCs. The game's graphics can be adjusted to keep things running smoothly, so you can focus on having fun rather than worrying about your rig's performance. It's like being handed the keys to the craziest sandbox ever and told, "Go wild, your PC's up for the challenge." So suit up, power up, and get ready to save the world in the most ridiculous way possible, all without needing a top-tier system. Rage 2. Rage 2 is an open-world first-person shooter set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland where the rules are simple. Shoot first, loot later, and always make sure your hair looks awesome while doing it. You play as Walker, the last ranger, who's out to take down a tyrannical authority known as the Authority. The game's world is vibrant, chaotic, and filled with enough explosions to make a Michael Bay movie look like a rom-com. The gameplay is fast-paced and frenetic, with a mix of shooting, vehicular combat, and exploration. You can upgrade your weapons and abilities to become an unstoppable force of nature, tearing through enemies with ease. The game's world is a playground for chaos, with plenty of side missions, challenges, and collectibles to keep you busy. The story is light, but who cares when you're having this much fun blowing stuff up? Rage 2 might be all about big guns and bigger explosions, but it's not about to blow up your PC. The game's engine is designed to be scalable, so you can keep the action smooth even on a lower-end system. It's like being handed a rocket launcher and told, "Go nuts, your rig's got this." So buckle up, lock and load, and get ready to tear through the wasteland in a game that's as wild as it is accessible. Assassin's Creed 3 takes the series to the American Revolution, where you play as Connor, a half-English, half-Native American assassin who's out to fight for freedom, justice, and the right to climb every building in sight. The game features a mix of urban and wilderness environments, allowing you to blend into crowds in Boston one minute and hunt animals in the frontier the next. The game also introduces a variety of side activities such as hunting animals, crafting, and managing a homestead. The story is rich with historical references, and the game's world is detailed and immersive, offering a unique look at a pivotal moment in history. Assassin's Creed 3 might be a visually rich game, but it's also one that can be scaled down to run on lower-end systems. The game's expansive world and engaging storyline are fully accessible, even if you need to tweak the graphics settings. The combination of historical setting, varied gameplay, and the ability to explore a living, breathing world make Assassin's Creed 3 a must-play, and its compatibility with a range of PCs ensures that many can enjoy this chapter in the series. Borderlands. Welcome to Pandora. No, not the one with blue aliens, but the one with more guns than you can shake a stick at and just as much chaos. Borderlands is a looter shooter where you pick a character class, grab a gun, or a bazillion guns, and set off across a desert wasteland filled with bandits, psychos, and plenty of weird creatures. It's like a Mad Max movie, but with more humor and an art style that looks like it leaped off the pages of a comic book. The gameplay is all about shooting and looting, with a heavy emphasis on cooperative play. The more you shoot, the more loot you get, and the more loot you get, the more you want to shoot. It's an addictive cycle that's made even better by the game's offbeat humor and colorful cast of characters. Each mission is a chance to find new weapons, take down crazier enemies, and explore the wild, unpredictable world of Pandora. Borderlands is the gift that keeps on giving, even to those of us with less than stellar PCs. The game's cel-shaded graphics are stylish yet forgiving, meaning you can keep the mayhem going without turning your PC into a slideshow. It's like being handed a treasure map that leads to an endless supply of loot and laughs, all without needing a high-end rig to enjoy it. So grab your best gun, or a few dozen of them, team up with some friends, and get ready for a looting spree that your PC can actually keep up with.
Sergeant?
Prototype 2. Prototype 2 lets you play as James Heller, a man on a mission to take down the one thing that's scarier than a zombie apocalypse: Alex Mercer, the anti-hero from the first game. Heller's got a serious bone to pick with Mercer, and fortunately, he's got the shape-shifting, body-morphing powers to do something about it. This game is all about wreaking havoc in the most over-the-top ways possible. The gameplay is pure power fantasy. You can run up skyscrapers, toss cars like they're made of paper, and transform your body into various deadly weapons. The city is your playground, filled with military targets to crush, civilians to terrify, or save if you're feeling nice, and a story of revenge that's as twisted as it is intense. Whether you're slicing through enemies with blade arms or absorbing them to gain their memories, every moment in Prototype 2 is a blast. You might think Prototype 2 would demand some serious hardware to run all that destruction, but it's surprisingly forgiving on lower-end PCs. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay even when you're tearing through a city full of enemies. It's like being handed the keys to a super-powered car and told, "Go nuts, your rig's got this." So unleash your inner anti-hero and start wreaking havoc, knowing your PC can keep up with all the chaos. Two Worlds 2. Two Worlds 2 is an RPG that's a bit like a Swiss Army knife. There's something for everyone, whether you're into epic quests, deep character customization, or just running around hitting things with a big sword. Set in the fantasy world of Antalore, you play as a hero trying to save your sister from the clutches of an evil emperor. Along the way, you'll explore diverse environments, from deserts to swamps, and take on a wide variety of enemies, including the occasional giant spider, because what's a fantasy game without those? The gameplay offers a lot of flexibility, with a deep crafting system, magic spells that can be customized to suit your playstyle, and a variety of weapons and armor to collect. The world is open and filled with quests, dungeons, and secrets to discover. Whether you're playing as a mighty warrior, a sneaky rogue, or a powerful mage, Two Worlds 2 gives you plenty of ways to tackle its challenges. Two Worlds 2 might offer a lot of depth and detail, but it's also a game that knows how to play nice with lower-end PCs. The game's engine is optimized to run smoothly on a variety of systems, so you can dive into its expansive world without worrying about performance issues. It's like being handed a magical sword and told, "Go forth and conquer." Your rig can handle the journey, so sharpen your blades, prepare your spells, and get ready to explore a world that's as rich in content as it is easy on your PC. The Forest. The Forest is what happens when a survival game meets a horror movie. You're the lone survivor of a plane crash on a mysterious island, and your first priority is to find your son. But this isn't your typical island vacation spot. There are cannibalistic mutants roaming the woods, and they're not exactly interested in making friends. Your mission is to survive, build shelter, and figure out what the heck is going on, all while keeping those mutants at bay. The gameplay is a mix of exploration, crafting, and combat. You'll gather resources, build fortifications, and set traps to keep the mutants away, all while exploring the island's dark secrets. The day-night cycle adds to the tension, with the mutants becoming more aggressive after dark. The story unfolds as you explore, leading to some seriously creepy discoveries that make you question what's real and what's not. The Forest might sound like it's built to terrify both you and your PC, but it's actually quite forgiving when it comes to hardware requirements. With some settings adjustments, you can keep the frights coming without worrying about frame drops. So gather your wits, build your defenses, and get ready to survive the night, all while keeping your PC from going dark.
Pussy, that's why.
Yeah.
One day, I'm gonna save your ass, and you're probably gonna want to kiss me.
GTA, Vice City. Good old GTA, Vice City. It is like stepping into a neon-soaked 1980s crime drama. You play as Tommy Vercetti, a mobster fresh out of prison who's ready to take over Vice City, a sprawling, sun-soaked paradise that's as corrupt as it is colorful. The game is all about climbing the criminal ladder, from small-time hustles to big-time heists, all while enjoying the soundtrack that's so 80s that it practically comes with leg warmers. The gameplay is classic GTA. Drive, shoot, and do whatever it takes to become the kingpin of Vice City. The missions range from the mundane, if you consider stealing cars mundane, to the outrageous. like taking down a drug lord in a helicopter chase. The city itself is a playground of chaos, with plenty of side activities, hidden collectibles, and opportunities to cause mayhem. Vice City might be dripping with 80s nostalgia, but it's also incredibly kind to lower-end PCs. The game's graphics, while dated, still capture the vibrant atmosphere of the era, and its performance is buttery smooth even on older systems. It's like being handed a DeLorean and told, "Go back to the 80s. Your rig can handle the trip." So grab your pastel suit, turn up the synthwave, and get ready to take over Vice City, all without pushing your PC to the limit.
Shit, that's gonna be a hell of a story to tell when we passing the blunt.
GTA, San Andreas. GTA. San Andreas is the game that took the open-world formula and cranked it up to 11. You play as CJ, a man who returns to his hometown of Los Santos to find his family in disarray and his neighborhood overrun by gangs. What follows is an epic journey that takes you from the hood to the countryside and beyond as you build your empire, one crime at a time. The game's world is massive, with 3 cities to explore, each with its own unique vibe. And that was really a big deal back then. Whether you're customizing your car, hitting the gym to bulk up, or pulling off heists, San Andreas offers endless possibilities for chaos and fun. The story is packed with memorable characters, intense missions, and more than a few plot twists that keep you hooked from start to finish. San Andreas might be a sprawling, detailed game, but it's also incredibly easy on your PC. The game's graphics, while simple by today's standards, are still charming and evocative, and the gameplay runs smoothly on just about any system. State of Decay. State of Decay is the zombie apocalypse game that asks, what if survival wasn't just about smashing heads, but also about building a community? You play as a survivor in a world overrun by the undead, and your mission is to gather other survivors, scavenge for supplies, and fortify your base against the zombie hordes. It's a mix of action, strategy, and resource management, all wrapped up in a game where one wrong move can mean the difference between life and death. The gameplay is all about balance. You'll need to manage your survivors' needs, keep your base secure, and venture out into the world to gather resources. Combat is intense and often brutal, with a focus on melee weapons and teamwork. The open world is filled with dangers, from roaming zombie hordes to rival survivor groups, making every decision feel like it could be your last. State of Decay might throw you into a world where the dead walk, but it won't make your PC die trying to run it. The game is optimized to perform well on a variety of systems, so you can focus on surviving the apocalypse without worrying about performance issues. So gather your group, fortify your base, and get ready to face the undead in a game that's as intense as it is accessible. Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. Need for Speed Most Wanted is the racing game that made running from the cops cooler than ever. You play as a street racer trying to make a name for yourself in Rockport City, all while being chased by the relentless police force. The game is all about high-speed chases, epic drifts, and outsmarting the cops as you climb the ranks of the city's most wanted list. The gameplay is fast, furious, and full of adrenaline. You'll compete in races, take on rivals, and customize your car to perfection. But the real thrill comes from the police chases, where you'll need to use every trick in the book to escape the long arm of the law. The game's open world offers plenty of opportunities to test your skills, with shortcuts, ramps, and destructible environments that can turn the tide in your favor. Most Wanted might be all about speed, but it's also surprisingly gentle on your PC. The game's graphics are sleek yet manageable, allowing you to enjoy high-octane action without worrying about your system overheating. So buckle up, rev your engine, and get ready to outrun the cops in a game that's as fun as it is fast. Prototype lets you play as Alex Mercer, a man with no memory and a whole lot of problems, like the fact that he can shapeshift, absorb people's memories, and turn his arms into giant blades. Set in New York City, the game is a playground of destruction where you can run up buildings, glide through the air, and take on military forces and mutated creatures in a quest to uncover the truth about your past. The gameplay is all about power and freedom. You can approach missions in a variety of ways, whether it's going in guns blazing, sneaking around as someone else, or just smashing everything in sight. The city is your playground, filled with opportunities for mayhem and destruction. The story is dark and mysterious, with plenty of twists that keep you guessing until the very end. You might think a game where you can turn your arm into a giant blade would require a PC with equally sharp specs, but Prototype is surprisingly forgiving. The game runs smoothly on lower-end systems, letting you unleash your inner superhuman without turning your PC into a supernova. So get ready to tear through the city, uncover dark secrets, and show the world just how powerful you can be, all without needing a high-end system. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands brings back the time-bending acrobatic action that made the series famous. You play as the prince who returns home to find his kingdom under siege by a mystical army. Armed with the power to control time and the agility of a gymnast on caffeine, you'll need to navigate deadly traps, solve puzzles, and battle enemies to save your kingdom. The gameplay is a mix of platforming, combat, and puzzle solving. The prince's ability to rewind time adds a unique twist to the action, allowing you to correct mistakes and experiment with different approaches to each challenge. The levels are intricately designed, with a focus on fluid movement and acrobatic stunts that make you feel like you're dancing through danger. The story is a classic tale of heroism, filled with epic moments and plenty of opportunities to show off your skills. You might think a game that lets you rewind time would require a PC that can turn back the clock on its specs, but The Forgotten Sands is surprisingly accommodating. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay even on older systems, so you can enjoy all the acrobatics without worrying about performance issues.
Probably an easier way to do this.
No doubt!
Saints Row the Third. Saints Row the Third is what happens when a sandbox game gets a sugar rush and decides to throw all caution to the wind. You're the leader of the Saints, a gang that's less about turf wars and more about over-the-top antics. The city of Steelport is your playground where anything goes, from fighting off luchador assassins to piloting a tank through the streets while wearing nothing but a hot dog suit. The gameplay is pure, unfiltered chaos. You can customize your character to ridiculous levels, wield bizarre weapons like the infamous Penetrator, look it up, or maybe don't, and engage in missions that range from bank heists to epic gang battles. The game doesn't take itself seriously, and neither should you. It's all about having fun, causing mayhem, and doing whatever you can to be the most outrageous criminal mastermind the world has ever seen. Saints Row the Third might be bursting with color and chaos, but it's also designed to run smoothly on a wide range of systems. The game's engine is optimized to deliver all the madness without melting your PC, making it the perfect choice for anyone who wants to let loose without worrying about hardware limitations. It's like being handed a clown car and told, "Go drive it through a minefield." Your rig can handle the explosions, so get ready to paint the town purple, cause some havoc, and enjoy a game that's as crazy as it is accessible.
You wanna play with me?
Scarface: The World Is Yours. Scarface: The World Is Yours lets you step into the shoes of Tony Montana, the most notorious gangster to ever say hello to my little friend. The game picks up where the classic film left off, with a twist, allowing you to rebuild Tony's empire from the ground up after a narrowly avoided demise. You'll need to take on rival gangs, expand your territory, and remind everyone why Tony is the king of Miami. The gameplay is a mix of open-world exploration, combat, and empire building. You'll engage in shootouts, drive fast cars, and manage your criminal enterprises, all while delivering Tony's trademark lines with a Cuban accent. The game's world is filled with opportunities to grow your empire, from smuggling operations to real estate deals. The story is packed with action, drama, and plenty of say-hello moments that capture the spirit of the movie. You might think running a criminal empire would require a top-tier PC, but Scarface: The World Is Yours is surprisingly accommodating. The game's engine is designed to run smoothly on a variety of systems, so you can focus on expanding your empire without worrying about performance issues. It's like being handed a briefcase full of cash and told, "Go build your empire. Your rig's got this." So grab your Hawaiian shirt, load up your little friend, and get ready to take over Miami in a game that's as stylish as it is accessible. The Saboteur. The Saboteur puts you in the shoes of Sean Devlin, an Irish race car driver turned resistance fighter in Nazi-occupied France. The game's unique black and white art style highlights areas under Nazi control, while liberated areas burst into color. It's like living in your own wartime movie, complete with daring missions, high-speed chases, and more explosions than you can shake a stick of dynamite at. The gameplay is a mix of stealth, combat, and sabotage, hence the name. You'll blow up Nazi installations, climb iconic Parisian landmarks, and shoot your way through the enemy forces as you liberate the city one district at a time. The game's open world is filled with side missions and collectibles that encourage exploration, and the story is filled with memorable characters and thrilling set pieces. The Saboteur might paint the town red with explosions, but it's surprisingly gentle on your PC. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay even on lower-end systems, so you can focus on taking down the Nazis without worrying about performance issues. So grab your explosives, get ready to climb some rooftops, and dive into a game that's as stylish as it is accessible. The Godfather 2. The Godfather 2 lets you live out your mafia dreams in a game that's all about power, respect, and the occasional horsehead in the bed. You play as Dominic, a young mobster rising through the ranks in a story that parallels the events of the classic movie. Your mission? Build your empire, take down rival families, and become the Don of New York, Miami, and Havana. The gameplay is a mix of open-world exploration, strategic empire building, and good old-fashioned mob violence. You'll need to manage your criminal enterprises, recruit new members to your family, and take out rival gangs in brutal shootouts. The game's strategic layer adds depth, allowing you to plan your moves and expand your territory in a way that feels true to the Mafia experience. And of course, there's plenty of action, with shootouts, car chases, and the occasional persuasion session to keep things interesting. The Godfather 2 might be all about climbing the criminal ladder, but it doesn't demand a top-tier PC to do it. The game's engine is designed to run smoothly on a variety of systems, so you can focus on becoming the most feared Don in the world without worrying about your PC overheating. It's like being handed a tailored suit and told, go make them an offer they can't refuse. Your rig can handle the job. So sharpen your strategy, load your gun, and get ready to take over the world in a game that's as deep as it is accessible.
Now move! Get the hell out of here!
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 is the action-packed, zombie-filled roller coaster that lets you experience 4 interconnected stories of survival horror. You'll play as various characters, including series veterans Leon Kennedy, Chris Redfield, and newcomer Jake Muller, as they battle bioterrorism across the globe. The game is a mix of intense shootouts, thrilling chases, and plenty of moments that will make you jump out of your seat. The gameplay gives you horror and action, with each campaign offering a different flavor of gameplay, from Leon's classic survival horror to Chris's more action-oriented missions. The game is packed with cinematic moments, epic boss battles, and enough zombies to fill a football stadium. Whether you're fighting off hordes of the undead or uncovering the mysteries behind the bioterror attacks, Resident Evil 6 keeps you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Resident Evil 6 might bring the horror, but it doesn't bring the pain when it comes to your PC. The game is optimized to run well on a variety of systems, so you can experience all the thrills and chills without worrying about performance issues. It's like being handed a shotgun and told, go take on the undead. Your rig's got your back, so grab your flashlight, load your ammo, and get ready to survive the night in a game that's as terrifying as it is accessible. Driver. San Francisco. Driver. San Francisco puts you back in the driver's seat, but this time with a twist. Literally. You play as Tanner, a cop with the unique ability to shift into the body of any driver in the city thanks to a coma-induced superpower. The game's open world is a beautifully recreated San Francisco, where you'll race through the streets, take down criminals, and engage in high-speed chases that would make any action movie jealous. The gameplay is all about driving, with the added twist of being able to shift from one vehicle to another instantly. This mechanic adds a whole new layer of strategy, allowing you to jump from car to complete missions, escape the cops, or just mess with traffic. The story is surprisingly engaging, filled with twists, turns, and plenty of high-octane action. Driver. San Francisco might have you racing through the streets at breakneck speeds, but it's not about to run your PC off the road. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay on a variety of systems, so you can focus on pulling off those epic drifts without worrying about performance issues. So buckle up, hit the gas, and get ready to tear up the streets of San Francisco in a game that's as fast as it is fun. Call of Duty: World at War. Call of Duty: World at War takes you back to the bloodiest battles of World War II, where you'll fight your way through the Pacific Theater and the Eastern Front in one of the grittiest entries in the series. You'll play as both a U.S. Marine and a Soviet soldier, experiencing the brutal realities of war as you take on the Imperial Japanese Army and the Nazi Wehrmacht. The gameplay is a mix of intense firefights, epic set pieces, and moments of sheer terror as you face off against a relentless enemy. The game's campaign is dark and unflinching, offering a no-holds-barred look at the horrors of war. The multiplayer mode, which introduced the now iconic Nazi Zombies mode, adds even more replay value, letting you team up with friends to take on wave after wave of the undead. World at War might be set in a time of great conflict, but it's surprisingly kind to your PC. The game's engine is optimized to run well on a variety of systems, so you can focus on surviving the war without worrying about performance issues. It's like being handed a rifle and told, "Go win the war." Your rig's got your back. So grab your gear, rally your squad, and get ready to storm the beaches in a game that's as intense as it is accessible. Test Drive Unlimited. Test Drive Unlimited is the racing game that lets you live out your fantasy of cruising around a tropical paradise in a high-performance car. Set on the Hawaiian island of Oahu, the game offers an open world where you can race, explore, and just enjoy the ride. Whether you're competing in races, buying new cars, or just taking in the scenery, Test Drive Unlimited offers a laid-back, yet exhilarating driving experience. The gameplay is all about freedom. You can choose your own path, whether it's competing in races, customizing your car, or just exploring the island at your own pace. The game's world is huge, with over 1,000 miles of roads to drive on and plenty of hidden secrets to discover. Test Drive Unlimited might let you drive high-end cars, but it doesn't require a high-end PC to run. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay even on lower-end systems, so you can enjoy the ride without worrying about performance issues. So buckle up, hit the open road, and get ready to cruise through one of the most relaxing yet thrilling racing games out there. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood picks up where Assassin's Creed 2 left off, continuing the story of Ezio Auditore as he takes the fight against the Templars to Rome. The game is all about building your own brotherhood of assassins, recruiting new members, and sending them on missions to weaken the Templars' grip on the city. It's a mix of stealth, combat, and strategy, all set in a beautifully recreated Renaissance Rome. The gameplay builds on the foundations of the previous game, with new features like the ability to call in your fellow assassins to help you in battle. The city of Rome is your playground, filled with missions, collectibles, and opportunities to take down your enemies in creative ways. Brotherhood might take you on a journey through the grand streets of Rome, but it's not about to leave your PC in the dust. The game's engine is optimized to run smoothly on a variety of systems, so you can focus on building your brotherhood without worrying about performance issues. So gather your allies, sharpen your skills, and get ready to take on the most powerful enemies in the world in a game that's as deep as it is accessible. Vin Diesel's Wheelman. Vin Diesel's Wheelman lets you step into the shoes of Milo Burick, a wheelman who's equal parts driver, stuntman, and action hero. Set in the bustling streets of Barcelona, the game is a mix of high-octane driving, on-foot combat, and enough stunts to make a Hollywood director blush. And yes, Vin Diesel himself lends his voice and likeness to the game, so you know it's going to be full of explosive action. The gameplay is all about speed and precision. You'll race through the streets, pulling off insane stunts, ramming enemy cars, and engaging in shootouts, all while trying to complete your missions. The game's open world offers plenty of opportunities for chaos, chaos, with side missions, collectibles, and hidden stunts that encourage exploration. It's like living out your own action movie with Vin Diesel as the star. You might think a game starring Vin Diesel would require a muscle-bound PC to run, but Wheelman is surprisingly easy on your system. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay on a variety of systems, so you can focus on pulling off those epic stunts without worrying about performance issues. So buckle up, hit the gas, and get ready to live out your action hero fantasies in a game that's as thrilling as it is accessible. Arma 3. Arma 3 is the military simulator that puts you right in the thick of it, offering one of the most realistic combat experiences you can get without enlisting. Set on the massive Mediterranean islands of Altus and Stratus, the game offers a wide variety of missions, from intense firefights to complex tactical operations, all with a focus on realism and strategy. The gameplay is all about planning and precision, whether you're leading a squad into battle, piloting a helicopter, or sniping from a distance. Arma 3 offers a level of detail and immersion that's unmatched in the genre. The game's open-world environments are huge, offering plenty of opportunities for exploration and experimentation. You might think a game as detailed and expansive as Arma 3 would require a top-tier PC, but with the right settings, it's surprisingly accommodating to lower-end systems. The game's engine is designed to scale, allowing you to enjoy the depth and realism of the gameplay without sacrificing performance. So grab your gear, plan your strategy, and get ready to experience one of the most immersive military sims out there, all without needing a high-end system. Gothic 3. Gothic 3, an RPG that lets you carve your own path in a massive open world filled with danger, mystery, and plenty of opportunities to prove your worth. Set in the land of Myrtana, you play as a nameless hero who must navigate a world at war, choosing sides, completing quests, and battling everything from bandits to dragons. The gameplay is a mix of exploration, combat, and decision-making. The world is open and dynamic, with NPCs that react to your actions and choices that affect the outcome of the story. The combat is challenging and requires skill, as you'll need to time your attacks and blocks carefully to survive. The world is filled with quests, secrets, and treasures to discover, making every moment of exploration rewarding. Gothic 3 might offer a sprawling, detailed world, but it's also a game that's surprisingly kind to lower-end PCs. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay even on older systems, so you can focus on exploring the world without worrying about performance issues. So sharpen your blade, ready your spells, and get ready to dive into a world that's as deep as it is accessible. Bionic Commando, 2009. Bionic Commando from 2009 is the reboot of the classic game that puts you in the boots of Nathan R.A.D. Spencer, a soldier with a bionic arm that's as deadly as it is versatile. Set in a post-apocalyptic city, the game is all about using your bionic arm to swing through the environment, take down enemies, and uncover the secrets behind a devastating terrorist attack. The gameplay is both action and platforming, with a focus on using your bionic arm to traverse the world and engage in combat. You can swing from buildings, pull off acrobatic stunts, and use your arm to throw objects and enemies around like they're made of paper. The story is packed with twists and turns, keeping you hooked as you uncover the truth behind the conspiracy that's threatening the world. You might think a game with a protagonist who swings around like Spider-Man would require a top-tier PC, but Bionic Commando is surprisingly accommodating. The game's engine is optimized to deliver smooth gameplay on a variety of systems, so you can focus on swinging through the city without worrying about performance issues. It's like being handed a bionic arm and told, "Go save the world. Your rig can handle the job." So gear up, get ready to swing, and dive into a game that's as action-packed as it is accessible. Marvelous Verdict. And there you have it, folks. 48 open-world games that prove you don't need a beefy rig to have a grand adventure. So next time someone brags about their high-end setup, you can smile, knowing you've got a world of gaming goodness at your fingertips without needing a second mortgage to afford it. Now, what are you waiting for? Your next great adventure is just a click away. And remember, even a potato can be a hero in the right game. Happy gaming!